Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Stock Market Show. This is your host, Shades. As always, BBAI, right at that purple line, loves to act as support. This is technically, on the technicals, it's a buy. That's why buyers are showing up today. If you want to take the risk, it's a buy right here. This is the perfect opportunity. Around $5, you're getting a massive discount from highs. This is why I always tell people to wait. And that's why I said to be careful, because earnings is coming around and it tends to be kind of a dud. And as you can see from $8, from the high, recent high, it's down 44%. So you're getting a massive discount. This is what we love, massive discounts. So if you want to buy, I would not blame you for getting in here right now. I know there's a guy in my Discord, Jeff, Trucker Jeff, as I like to call him, because he literally trades but drives around in a truck. Sometimes his AI companion tells him, hey, keep your eyes on the road, buddy. But no, I think it's a buy here, technically speaking. I am not buying. I repeat, I am not buying, nor am I going to alert it. I do not like companies whose revenues go down, right? Let's keep earnings simple, okay? Let's keep earnings simple. We're going to keep it simple, right? Too many people overcomplicate earnings. BBAI stock, what is it? It's a company. And like any company, it has to make money. And people love companies that have increasing revenues, right? Because increasing revenues means there's increasing demand for their product / service. That's just business 101. So I'm going to pull up the BBAI financials right now. Give me a second. I'm going to pull it over. So you can see here on the quarterly time frame. Yeah, the revenues decreased 43 to 34 to 32. So it just it's been going down since Q3. Yeah, since Q3 2024, it's just going down. So 3 quarters of just revenues decreasing. What does that mean? It means there's less demand for their product / service. It's that simple. We don't have to look at anything else. I don't care what the company has to say. Because the company is not going to be honest with you and tell you, hey guys, we're kind of garbage. We're kind of doing pretty terrible. Yeah, our revenues are dropping quarter to quarter. Because U.S. Army contracts aren't coming in, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. You never really want to listen to the company because it's in their best interest to make themselves look as good as possible, despite what the numbers say. Where you really pay attention are to the numbers. And the numbers are very clear here. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said. The revenues are atrocious. We continue to go down lower. So let me just pull BBAI earnings. Creators on earnings miss. Surprise, surprise. I mean, they can talk about opportunity all they want. But I mean, I can start a business and talk. I can start a business and just tell you guys, hey, don't mind the fact that revenues are decreasing. Like, don't mind that. Just listen to what I'm saying. I'm saying there's a lot of opportunity, and I'm very optimistic. Of course, I'm gonna say that. I'm not gonna look at you and tell you, oh yeah, don't pay attention. Yeah, guys, we're just getting less customers, less demand for products. No, they're not gonna say that. Obviously, they're gonna point out to what's good. He's going on and out about record cash balance. Woo! Of course. At the end of the day, there's less demand for their products / service. Maybe their customers left and went with someone else, someone better, cheaper. Who knows? Yeah, and that sucks. Due to uncertainty on certain Army programs, as well as new anticipated growth investment spending in the second half of the year, at this time the company is withdrawing its previously provided Guidance for the year ended December 31, 2025. This all screams, you know, they're not doing too hot. It's a business. You should be getting increasing revenues because you have so much demand for your service slash product. When it's the opposite, that's when you start paying attention. I think it's a buy here, technically, but just be aware of that, trend on its earnings. You don't have the luxury of a stock that trends to the upside on its earnings. So it's a little riskier now, which is why I'm not going to buy, right? I'm just going to buy SoundHound or Mara stock. Both beat on earnings, both have increasing revenues. And both of them pumped, and we all made like 50% plus on both. Because we bought Mara under 15 when it pumped to 21. And then we bought SoundHound under 10, and now it's at 16. So just be aware you're taking a risk if you take earnings into consideration. If we were back if we were back in like the 1930s, let's just assume we warp back to 1930s. We pick up a newspaper, we read the headline, it says BBAI stock crashes. You're probably going to be like, well, I don't know what caused it to crash, but I'm buying the dip here at 5, right? Because there was no internet back then, which I know probably sounds crazy to say, but there was no internet back then. You had to pick up the newspaper, you would look at the ticker and be like, whoa, a BBAI just dropped to 5. And you had to manually go to your whiteboard or grab a piece of paper and pen and just figure out like, okay, looks like the price went from 3 to 4, then it kind of went sideways here at around 4-ish. And it kind of seems to have like an average at around $4 to $5. So you would have to manually do that back then and figure out what the average price is that buyers love to show up at. Like you would basically be a genius if you went back in time at this point, because you have the technology. I guess if you went back in time with this technology, you would be a genius to everyone else, because you got indicators that they don't have access to, since they would have to like literally grab paper and pencil and draw everything out. So if we went back in time and had no clue why it dropped, it just crashed on earnings, whatever, we don't know why, it just crashed, and we pay attention just to purely the fact that it's at a discount, it's a buy. So I give it a buy, but I'm just gonna obviously just go somewhere else. Like I'm not gonna give this company my business, right? I'm gonna go give it to somebody that has increasing revenues. That's just a rule of mine personally. I think someone's holding a bag on this one, right? Who was it? I read the comment at like 3 in the morning, and I started laughing because I'm like, bro, why are you holding a bag on this? Let me see if I can find it. Is it this one? No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, someone's holding a big bag. Oh, no, that's... Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Let me pull it up. Dropped 20%. Oh well, still in the green though at 3.27 a share. Yeah, it did drop, right? I think it's an opportunity here to buy the discount. But it's just a little more of a dangerous stock to trade, because it's like, oh, what if its revenues just keep dropping? Well, eventually it's just going to keep tanking. It's going to pull a Mullen or a Color. That's delusional. Bought this morning, 15K, I think, with all the government contracts they are signing. They will do very good this remainder of the year and next. What the hell is this guy talking about? They literally just said, did this guy not read the earnings? They literally said, yeah, Army contracts. Yeah, this year we're kind of going to make less, so we're going to adjust the numbers, for year end. So this guy's just completely smoking a blunt or something. It'll be a good trade opportunity, I think, especially because you're buying at a massive discount here at the purple line, so there's money to be made there if you're flipping it. But that's about it. I would not hold through this earnings. It's a high-risk gamble. Well, yep, yeah, it is. It absolutely is. That's why I'm not buying that. I hope this thing bounces back tomorrow if there's good news. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I think they have earnings this afternoon too. I remember last earnings they said they weren't able to include all the revenue because it didn't get into their bank yet, so that will show up in this one, which might make them beat. So it might surge after that. Hell no. I don't even think about. See, I don't do that. I don't speculate. I don't care to speculate. I don't care. I just let it happen, and we buy the discount. Assuming, because we've seen companies have good earnings and then they drop anyways. But this is not what happened. It had bad earnings with decreasing revenues. That's not a good. I don't know how you can look at that and not think, I'd rather take my business elsewhere. So that's just my thought process, of course. But it is a good day buying opportunity on the technicals. So I don't blame anyone for just buying. But yeah, it's just if you're smart, you just go somewhere else. Like there's just better companies out there. I don't know if he's gonna buy. Jeff is the one that's looking to buy the dip, but he has a small account. So if he buys the dip here with $5,000, he it better work out for him, because if it doesn't, he might get screwed. But this is what I like, right? Look at this: 13, 17, 11, 13, 25. Whoa, massive jump here in revenues. 34, 29, 42. Like, we're getting increasing revenues, especially when you go to the annual. You can see SoundHound's revenues went from 0, 21 million, 31, 45, 84. Almost 50% increase every year in their revenues. So again, you're just better off buying what's trending to the upside in terms of what's getting more demand for the product. That's just being a smart trader. So that's why I'm telling you, I'm not going to alert this. I'm not going to buy it. But technically, hell yeah, it's a buy. I'd just be very careful with it. I've seen enough people get screwed over by stocks like Color. Color's a great example. Everyone thought this was going to be the next big thing. Ran to 43 from a low of $2. And it's just been tanking inside this pattern of going sideways, breaking down lower, sideways, breaking down lower, sideways. And we would expect it to rinse and repeat that pattern. And a lot of people, of course, are getting absolutely destroyed. So that's what can happen to this stock now. Because its revenues aren't. You don't have that luxury of owning a stock that's a company that's trending to the upside. Because when I trade, I look for companies that trend to the upside in terms of revenues, and ideally on the charts, or that has an abusable pattern. That should be your criteria for trading a stock. It should be, are its revenues going up? If not, I'm not trading it. And that'll save you from putting money into something that ends up just tanking, like Color or Mullen. It's really that simple. But you know how people are. They want to take big risks. That's on them. They can do what they want. But that's why I'm telling you, I'm not. I don't know, Jeff. I know you're watching this, but Trucker Jeff, man, I wouldn't buy it. Yeah, I would just keep buying Mara. They had good earnings and it dropped 30%. So let that sink in. It did the opposite. It's giving you a discount despite good earnings. There's better opportunities, guys. Better opportunities out there.